All right, well, we're getting information from the Bishop Police Department about an arrest on an alleged embezzlement case in Inyo County. That Bishop Police Department press release states that last March, Bishop Police Department was contacted by a local resident who accused a former Bishop resident, Leandra Wright, of embezzlement. Now, the press release states the investigation revealed unauthorized use of funds on a number of different accounts, which Wright managed, along with Wright's failure to maintain payables. Wright had been handling the victim's finances since 2008. Press release says a forensic analysis on the accounts was completed, which revealed significant losses over a long period of time. Now, once suspect Leandra Wright learned of the Bishop Police Department's arrest warrant, she returned to Inyo County, turned herself in to the Inyo County Jail in Independence, and soon posted bail. Now, that press release from the Bishop Police Department states that if you have any relevant information about this case or the suspect, you're asked to please contact the Bishop Police Department at 760-873-5866. And Carl Chang was sentenced on a sexual battery conviction. Inyo County District Attorney Thomas Hardy issued a press release this week saying that on December 22, 2017, Bishop resident Carl Chang was sentenced to 364 days in the Inyo County Jail as a term and condition of 4 years of formal felony probation, this following his admission of 2 counts of sexual battery by fraud. Now, the press release states that other similar counts had been dismissed as part of a negotiated disposition. Chang will be required to register as a sex offender pursuant to Penal Code Section 290, and he will not be allowed to reside within 2,000 feet of schools, parks, or other areas where young people congregate. Chang also will not be allowed to practice massage therapy or acupuncture therapy while on probation, and the State of California Acupuncture Board is investigating administrative action that could result in the loss of his licensure. Now, Chang had engaged, the press release states, in an acupuncture and massage therapy business in Bishop, and under the guise of treating certain medical conditions, he admittedly engaged in illegal sexual touching and other inappropriate behavior. Press release states that Chang had previously been placed on probation to the State of California Acupuncture Board after having been accused of similar conduct. Part of that probation included a requirement that he complete a patient boundary training class. The fact that he continued his behavior after the intervention of his licensing authority and his completion of such a class significantly aggravated his case, the press release states. The case was originally investigated by the Bishop Police Department and was prosecuted by Inyo County Deputy District Attorney Dana Crome. Well, Los Angeles Department of Water and Power managers have elected to call off testing of well 385R. An LA DWP news release states due to the alarming lack of snowpack and possibility that the Eastern Sierra may be slipping back into drought conditions. Now, as Sierra Wave Media has reported over the last several weeks, LADWP had planned to conduct the 2-month-long test now through February, but the DWP says it will hold off until conditions hopefully improve next year. Now, said Richard Harrisick of the LADWP, right now we are looking at about a 50% of normal snowpack, which is causing us to reduce flows out of Crowley Lake and start refilling important storage there. Harrisick is the Senior Assistant General Manager of the LADWP water system, and he said that one of the critical control variables for the well test is to maintain a constant flow in the Owens River, which we just cannot afford to do without jeopardizing this year's aqueduct operations, end quote. Now, the press release from the LADWP states that the California Department of Water Resources is forecasting below normal snowpack for the year, and calls for water conservation are already ramping up throughout the state. Now, in 2014, LADWP made significant changes to its old well 385 located in the Five Bridges area of the Owens Valley. Now, the new well, called W385R is distinctly different, the press release states, from its predecessor and will draw from deep areas of the aquifer that are hydrologically separate from water that is needed to protect plant growth on the valley floor. Now, following a shorter pump test in 2014, LADWP set up this winter's test to further evaluate the operating characteristics of the well and improve the accuracy of groundwater modeling in the region. Now, the press release notes that this time of year is typically ideal for gathering good test data when water flow conditions can be kept fairly constant and robust safeguards can be put in place to ensure that the environment is completely protected. Richard Harrisick said, while we are eager to get this testing underway, we are more committed to getting good, reliable test results and protecting the local environment, confirming that this well can be operated without adverse impacts is core to what this testing is about. Now, that press release also notes that the potential operation of well 385R has raised concerns in the Owens Valley, and during the testing delay, LADWP will continue to work with Inyo County and local stakeholders throughout the processes agreed to in the long-term water agreement. Well, another great job by the members of the Mono County Search and Rescue Team earlier this week. Press release from Mono County Sheriff Ingrid Braun states that at 12:15 p.m. on Monday, January 1st, Mono County Sheriff's Search and Rescue Team was called out for rescue of an injured ice climber. A 64-year-old Mono County man fell about 40 feet while climbing ice at the Chenard Falls in Levining Canyon. Now, 5 Mono County Search and Rescue Team members hiked down from the Green Bridge on Highway 120, Tioga Pass Road, while 2 more were lowered from California Highway Patrol helicopter H-40. The subject was placed in a litter and carried to a location where a helicopter hoist was done by CHP helicopter H-40. He was transported to care flight at Lee Vining Airport and flown to Reno for treatment. Now, that press release states many thanks to the CHP for its invaluable assistance in rescuing the injured climber, also to care flight, safely transporting the patient to critical care in Reno. And the press release notes, because this incident occurred beyond the closure of Tioga Pass, Mono County Search and Rescue required the assistance of Caltrans to access the best entry point. And Ingrid Braun, Mono County Sheriff, says, we appreciate the willingness of our partner agencies to assist whenever we call. Ingrid Braun also says the most recognition goes out to the search and rescue team, voluntarily risking life and limb to rescue those who are injured in the backcountry and remote locations. And Sheriff Braun said the dedication and skill of the search and rescue team is unmatched, and she is proud that they are part of our organization. And Inyo County Sheriff Bill Lutz announced last week that he would not seek re-election after his term expires this year. And this week, Inyo County Under Sheriff Jeff Hollowell announced that he would seek the position of Inyo County Sheriff. Now, a news release from Hollowell states that after 30 years with the Inyo County Sheriff's Office, he's happy to announce that he intends to seek the office of sheriff, noting that he started in the sheriff's office in 1987 and has moved through the ranks to his current position of undersheriff. Hollowell said he has knowledge and experience with budgets, personnel issues, and the challenges facing the county and the state. Hollowell, born and raised in Bishop, noting that he had served in the U.S. Army, and he's proud to say he is currently the appointed Veteran Service Officer for Inyo and Mono counties. Hollowell is married with 4 grown children, and he holds all peace officer standards and training certificates up to and including a management certificate. Jeff Hollowell says, I look forward to the challenges facing law enforcement across the state, and he says he hopes you will support him in his endeavor to be sheriff of this great county. And again, that's Jeff Hollowell throwing in his badge for Inyo County Sheriff. We'll be back with more news.